Well, hello, hello. Am I live? Can you hear me? So what comments? Okay. Stream health. What do you mean no data? Okay, that's working. Oh, looks like I got Instagram working this time, but not YouTube. Yay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me on Instagram? It looks like YouTube might not be working. Okay, good. That's good. At least that's working. I can see comments too. Oh, okay, so it is working on YouTube. It just doesn't show me. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I even got the Instagram safe zone figured out. YouTube and Instagram are both working, so that's what's important. It might be working on Facebook, but I don't know that I really care that much about Facebook. Let me see. A little bit of light. Okay, great. Yeah, YouTube you'll be able to see more, but I'm going to try and stick it in the safe zone for Instagram. Looks like it's working. That's that's great. Oh, and you know what? Facebook is working too. So, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook successful. I really feel like the night's a success. So, let's just see. One more minute. We'll let some more people join, and then on with the show. I gotta redo this desk because I gotta slide the wrong way here. Right in the middle. Okay, good. I can see the screen. Crappy light. Wow. I guess I need a makeup artist. Alright, so still working. Everything's still working good. Alright, like all my live pen drops, I've got the pens. They are numbered from 1 to 24, then 25 to 48. So if you want to see anything particular, let me know. I'll probably just pull out a few. And like before, I've put the page up, I put the pens up on a page, and I'm giving anybody that joins the live event a 24-hour head start. And if I can figure out how to do this, here is the password. And the password is postal. I'm about to go postal. If the post office strike doesn't end, but it looks like they may be forced to go back to work and then do some kind of committee to figure out how to come to an agreement, which would be good for all of us small businesses because we truly are getting messed up. So if you want to go and look at the pictures of the pens, if you go to londonpenco/new, password for that page is postal, you get 24-hour head start. So I'll leave that there for now. Yeah, Amy, it's like I sometimes you can do 20% of your whole year's sales in December, and I've done virtually nothing, but I finally figured out that UPS, for a few dollars more, most of Canada I can cover, and most of the US for a few dollars more with UPS Standard, which is great because at least I can ship in Canada and the US. The rest of the world, like right now, for me to ship to England or Europe is $60 something when it's normally 25. So, and I know I'm not the one that pays technically, but in reality, I want to make sure my customers get the product at a reasonable cost. So I've been sort of holding off, but it looks like if the strike is over next week, I can resume shipping probably after the holidays. Get stuff shipped off using the post office again. For now, I'm just using UPS, or if you want it really fast, then you can get it via DHL, which is super, super fast, but again, twice as expensive. And yeah, the prices are on the website. I think most of them are 14s, which would be $170. I'm gonna pull out some pens now. here. Let's start. We'll start with the first one, which is the purple, which is something that I just love. So when I was at the English show, I'm going to turn those passwords off if you need them. Actually, I'll leave the password on. If you need the link again, I can put it back up. But so this is purple and white swirls. It's very similar to the Omos Bologna di Magica, but it's different. It's an acrylic I got in England. Somebody asked me to make a pen. They had bought a rod. They said, can you take this back to Canada and make a pen? So of course I went to Vince and said, give me more, because I really like it. So I made a few of these. So I'm going to have to zip back through the comments and stuff. Again, bear with me. This is the first time I really broadcast with this software, and it's quite good. I think it's looking pretty good on Instagram. So that's the purple with white swirl. Then this one is ocean. They're coming out a little bit bright. I think maybe I've got a little too much light. So they'll be a little bit darker. Yeah, they'll be darker than this for sure. The pictures will show you a pretty good deal. But I'm calling this ocean acrylic. It's got the sand and the sea colors in it. And then this one here is really quite cool. It's a white acrylic with just wires of color running through it. Hello, Vancouver. So yeah, that's some great stuff. You may see, I'm seeing comments from YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram all at the same time. So if I'm responding to somebody, you don't see it, it's just they're on one of the other platforms. So that is actually a red, green, and blue. So, oh yeah, you can tell. And then I've had this one before. It's kind of like a polar ice type. It's a nice, fairly transparent, frosted white with blue accents. This first batch, they're all Christopher 14s. I like this. I actually wear. Yeah. This is my personal case, and there's mine. I grabbed one because I liked it, and I also got the Juma red because it's got a little bubble right here. So it became mine because one little bubble's okay. So that's the frosted white. Sorry, I'll get better at this. I'm actually thinking about maybe putting some faint lines in there as well, so you can see it. So that's the blue frosted. I'll just go through them all. We'll go quick. If you want to say anything, see anything again, we can do it at the end. But this is sort of a pastel chip pattern, very neat. Very transparent, like very transparent. So transparent, we had to polish the inside a bit. Hey Michael, glad to see you coming over from Scott McKay's feeds. That's pastel. Now this one, I hope you can see this. Yeah. It's like a blue acrylic, but it's got a lot of silver fleck in it. Looks a bit like a galaxy. So Michael, the password postal is referring to the website Again, for anybody that's just come in, I give people that join the live a 24-hour head start on the website. So right now, this at londonpenco.com/new, that's where all the new pens are for this release. And the password to get into that page is postal. And you basically you get a 24 hours to get a head start on buying before I release it to the public. So that's a blue galaxy type material. Very cool. So this is great. Like these ones, hopefully you can see on screen how good these look. There's 3 different colors. There's purple, blue, and red that I got, and it's almost like a stacked layer look to it. So it's a purple layered material, which I just love. It's hard to tell if you can just how good it looks, but yeah, it's beautiful. It's a really deep purple with the chatoyance coming through. I'm just going down the line. These should all be on order in the same order on the website as well. Now this one's kind of neat. It's just a red and black swirl. Kind of reminds me of like Halloween candy type stuff, which is neat. And now the red version. So this is again the red layered. It's hard to tell on screen, but really looks good. Uh-oh. Doesn't look like Facebook is still going, I hope. Or not Facebook, Instagram. Seems to be caught up. Well, thanks. Yeah, the presentation, it's going to take me a while. It'll get better. It really messes with you trying to broadcast to Instagram and YouTube at the same time because of this vertical orientation. But I'm getting used to it. I think I've got the camera, I've got the pens in the right spot so that you can see them. And the pens are what's important. And Michael, I don't make pencils or roller balls, all fountain pens right now. I'd love to make pencils, but getting the right mechanism is it's a difficult process for me. I do make some kit pencils for fun and for my own use. In fact, I have one. Nope, I don't have one. Sorry. So that's the red stacked. Now, hopefully you can see this because this material, I only got 2 sticks of it, enough for maybe 6 pens. And when I make Nonas, I'm making a Nona out of this for myself. It is just this really cool, light, creamy, bluish color with the brown swirls. I really like it. It's got a lot of pearl essence in it as well. Yeah, Terry, I've still got your hybrids. I haven't made anything with them because I still have to develop a liner system. Because there's wood in there, I need to have it lined so that it contains the ink. But yeah, that's a beautiful material. That's one of my favorites out of the new materials I got. Most of these are new materials you may not have seen before. I got them in my latest batch from Vince in the UK. So I've got another chip. This one's got some purples and yellows and more pastel-y colors in there as well, and quite a few transparent spots. You can see here you can see the threads right in there. It's very, very transparent. which is nice. I like this one too. I prefer this to the lighter pastel, but you know, that's what we know about pens. They're all subject to our own personal tastes. Okay, so we had the purple version and the red version, and now this is the blue version of that stacked type of acrylic, which I just love. I have a request. Somebody saw this in the picture that I sent. And they want this in a Nona, so I'm going to make some Nonas out of it as well. It's a little thin, so I'm going to have to be really, really careful to make sure I get all the facets, but I'll make some Nonas out of this next year as well. But it is beautiful. And then if you're a brown fan, this new brown, again, like I got these materials from the UK. I hope I can get them again, but I got a few rods of each, and so I decided to make some pens. But if you like browns and kind of like, I wouldn't say it's a goldish tone, but it's a really nice chatoyance. Very, very nice. Then we got some wild acrylic. This is well, somebody said, well, can't you make that pattern line up? I'm like, no. I wasn't able to. You lose a lot. It's even though it looks like it's lined up, it's not really because of the brown, like parts of it. And it's because the stuff weaves in and out, so it's probably because of the section there that it doesn't line up properly, but it's still a cool material. Really neat. And these first ones are all acrylic, so they're all very they take a great shine. Which is great. Jen, the caps don't post. Like sometimes it can, depending on how much I've had to sand them, but they're not designed to post. The reason for that, as I've explained before, is I don't want a big step here. So the cap and the body are very close. It's very close to being a full cigar. But it's a balance between that and a big step here. And so this just isn't strong. Like it's strong, but over time, it could weaken and crack. So if you post, you could eventually weaken and crack this. I have another model I'm working on that has a nice thick cap. That one you'll be able to post for sure. Another crazy little material. This is another pearly purple, but with some yellow and greenish stripes in it. It is funky. If you like bright colors, this is definitely the one. The next one is a pastel we've seen, so I'll skip that. And then this is a funky blue, and I really like this one too. I almost actually took this pen when I first made it. But I've got one now and then one in the batch that's being sanded for next. Oh, that's awesome, Amy. I'm glad you got it because I've been tempted to just take it out of inventory, but I have too many pens now. But this blue is spectacular. If you like blue pens, this is kind of a really neat pattern. And if you like green, this is a very cool pen as well. So the story behind this one is I had finished them all and they just needed to be buffed, and I was transporting them. And this one was sitting in the back of my truck for a couple of weeks. And then I went to move some stuff, and this fell out, so it got polished just in time. But again, really, really neat pearl colors. The next three, there's another purple one, but we've seen that already. Okay, we've got some Christopher 13 Juniors in Ebonite. So this is a much shorter pen. For those of you that maybe never seen my pens, that's the Christopher 14, which is thicker and quite a bit longer. So the Junior is narrower and shorter. It did not. It doesn't post either, but it is a nice small pen. This is for people with smaller hands. See, this is my faceted cap with Turkish needlepoint. I just put this into production because I'm trying to use production into my box because I'm wanting to do a lot more notes, and this pen was designed to fit my hand. And not, it's quite long, so it doesn't need to be posted. If it did post, it would be giant and far too large. But the needlepoint's interesting. I haven't quite got it flowing the way I like it yet. So this is a Nico green and black ebonite, very classy, kind of old school ebonite with the swirl pattern. Or the ripple, I think they call it ripple. Some ebonite. Some of these have been on my site before, but I made a few more. And this is SEM ebonite, and it's black, brown, and blue, which is kind of neat. This, all the other ones, this sold. Yeah, I made a pen out of deer antler once, and I would never do it again. The smell is horrible, and I do this because I want to have fun, and it was no fun at all. There are guys that'll do it, but not me. I'm sticking to the man-made materials for now. This is another SEM ebonite. I skipped some of the others because they're very similar to ones we've seen. Again, this is a really nice, classy dark blue. It's darker than it looks. Again, the pictures will show you better. Yeah, Jen, these pens are big, though. If you look at the measurements on my website, you'll see that it's a big pen. They're, Mont Blanc, bigger than Mont Blanc type pens. So if you check the lengths and widths and then compare them to something you have in your collection, you'll see that they are quite big, even unposted. I was surprised that the 14 actually took over as my most popular pen because I thought it was too big, but it outsells the others by a margin, and it's a lot of women. It seems to be a good size. The juniors like these are definitely for people who like small pens, as in the hand. It's still like even the junior is it's bigger than most like Japanese pens, but again, not posted, so just long enough to not be posted. Permanent delay. What? Mark Bacchus. He makes it Turkish because that's what he called it. I'm not sure why he calls it the Turkish needlepoint, but it is very, very tiny, and I think I just gotta open it up a bit to get a little more ink flow because right now it's dried out a few times, but I've only been using it for a day. We'll stay in the realm of funky. This is one funky ebonite. It's purple and green and kind of yellow, which is neat. But every time, if this pen at the show, like these ones went first. They were funky. They look great in person. And ebonite is it's a funny material. It sells better in person than it does online, and it's mostly because when you can see it in person and feel it in your hand, you feel the warmth of ebonite compared to plastic. Okay, hopefully Lisa's still here because I finally got the poorly controlled materials worked out. So I didn't make any 14s. I only made Nonas because I only got maybe 15 pieces. And this stuff is dynamite. I'm going to give me 1 second. If you hear a crash, it's just me falling off my desk. Nope. Make sure that's still in focus. I'm not sure how Lisa does this, but it's amazing. This is a material, when you see it in person, you just go, wow, how did she do that? So I have the silver linings. Then I have the green version, which is very transparent. You can count the threads in there. I have the pink version, which is really neat as well and very transparent. Thanks, Lisa. That was a lot of internal polishing. And then the blue version. So yeah, I have 4 different types. I have multiples of the silver. That's the material I got the most of. And I have 1 each of the green, pink, and blue in this. I think I have 1 more each of them, but they'll be in the next release. And yes, Lisa, the facets are kind of cool. We get that silver that you have running through there, so it reflects really, really nicely. Hey Troy, how are you? Yes, these are all Bach pens this batch. I have been making some more Jowo pens, but mostly Bach. So those are the poorly controlled. Now I don't know if this one, if this one's sold yet or not, because I can't see that. But this is the only one I have. So I get my big head in there, but I just got to make sure that's still in focus. This is Fountain Telling 3 olive martini. Now I only had I was out of this material, and who was it? The kid in Detroit, great kid. He was selling off his material because he's at college, Motor City Pens, and I grabbed a bunch of his material and had 1 of these in it. So I made a Nona. Very cool material. Now that blue we had earlier in a junior in ebonite, I have a Nona 14 in ebonite, and it is just the coolest material. You can just see the facets. The hardest thing with facets is when you sand them, keeping them flat and faceted, because it tends to want to roll over. So it's very neat. So yeah, it's so the Nona 14 nine-sided. Now I have had this material on as well, and it is awesome. So this is I got this from John Tello, who got it from. He thinks they came from. It's an Italian acrylic. It's very similar to a Conway Stewart series, Scarlet Whirl, except this one's with grays and blacks, and they're really cool red running through it. Yeah, Troy, you love those facets. You got to come to my shop for a while and sand them and see how much you love them. I love them too, but it's a love-hate relationship with me. Now, Fior, who works with me, he does most of the sanding, and we have a batch of ebonite that need to be resanded, and he's been avoiding it because it can be monotonous. It's almost like you do one of these and then 3 or 4 round pens, and then one of these and 3 or 4 round pens. Now, this material, if you like clear, this was my experiment. I called it Dragon Spit. It's very transparent, so transparent that it had to have the inside polished. It's a very kind of neat. And I'm going to, when I get back to making blanks, I'm going to do more of this stuff as well. Because I really like again, this is love-hate. I love the look of the transparent pens. And I've got some ideas on how to play with the transparency more. But again, you do have to polish the inside. Believe it or not, Troy, I found out that somebody else out there does a 9-sided, like it's a big company, and they do have a 9-sided pen, and they call it the Nona Gone or something like that. So I don't know who it is, but I found out just recently I saw one. I can't say they copied me because they've probably been in business longer than I've been alive, but yeah. So this is Dragon Spit. Another clear pen. Well, not clear, but very transparent. I've had this material before. I have a few pieces of it left, but it's kind of like a transparent orange with white swirls. You know, sometimes that looks a bit like a dove there. I forget the name of what they call that when you see patterns and stuff, but that's very neat. And I had a couple of these at DC and San Francisco, and they sold. Okay, so the next few pens, I'll just show a few of them unless people want to see because it's much more common. So the Nona is a little more expensive because it's quite a lot more work. So I decided to do a hybrid of the 14 and the Nona, and so this is the Christopher 14 faceted cap. So it's got a 9-sided faceted cap. So there's still the facets on there. Here we go. But the body is exactly the same as the body of a Christopher 14. Made exactly the same way, same width, everything. So the cap stays, and I don't even have to worry about lining up the facets. But that gives me a nice faceted pen at a lower price point than a normal Nona, because the Nona, again, the real work, the caps are not as bad. The real work is doing the body, because as it gets thin down here and you're sanding, you still have to keep those facets even on the bottom. So that's the faceted cap, and I have a few. So I have that's obviously Jonathan Brooks, Primary Manipulation. Moonlit Evening, I think he calls this material. It is really neat. It's kind of got some grays and golds and neat stuff in it. So that's Moonlit Evening. Another PM1. And this is the full PM1, not the PM1 Live. Got some PM1 lights too. And Unicorn Bone. There's a funny story behind this. So we had I think sales and shows and everything. I came back and I did a bit of a sale. I think it was a Fountain Pen Day sale. And I went to pick an order and the pens weren't there. So I freaked out because I'm like, oh my God, how did I miss this? Did I pull these pens to take them to a show? So I ran down, pulled the material, started making the pens, and I made a small batch of them. And I come back, and the other orders were sitting there, and I looked, and both pens were in there because Fior had already picked that order. And it was already, the nibs were already cleaned and are tuned and ready to go. And so I freaked out and made pens that I thought I needed right away. The customer I contacted said, I don't know what happened. She had ordered 2. So I ended up making a small batch of faceted caps. That's the Unicorn Bone one as well. Let's see. That's another. It looks like a PM1 light, but I think it's just PM. No, it is. It's light because of the lavender heavy. And then Unicorn Blood, because this was the other one I think she had ordered, so I had to pull them and make. I started making them, so I finished them, so they're in this release. But it was a bit of a panic. So the rest are all faceted cap. Christopher 14s. If you want to see them, I can show them. Again, I don't even know how many people are still here. It's interesting. This is a new program called Ecamm, because I was having so much trouble with using two different devices to try and post to Instagram and YouTube at the same time, because there wasn't anything that worked. And then I found this software, and it is awesome. So for recording and everything, this software is going to be really, really good for unboxings and reviews. And I can do interviews with it, so I can send a person a link, bring them in. I did a Jonathan Brooks test, and it worked really, really well. He had multiple cameras, I have multiple cameras, and we were able to show and do all those things, and it worked really, really well. So I'm very happy. Oh, congratulations, Janine. That pen was, I was sure it would be the first thing that sold, just because it's such a rare blank to find anymore. Hopefully she's going to be casting again, but I know the storm forced them to move and stuff, so we'll see. Let me go back to this picture. If anybody wants to see any of the pens again, just let me know. And I can even do, hey, wait a second. Here we go. I have sound effects. Hopefully it's not too loud. Oh, that's so fun. The poorly controlled ones, you definitely, if you buy one of those, you will not be disappointed. Good job, Janine. So these will get shipped out on Monday. The people that have bought so far, because UPS is very quick, so you'll be able to get them by Christmas and play with them over the holidays. And I just want to make sure, Janine, you know that I'm assuming you've got some Bach nibs for those pens. So if not, we can talk about it online. I normally send out notes to people just to check, just to make sure they understand. I separated the nibs from the pens a while back because I'm starting to stock custom grinds by Kirk Spear and Mark Bacchus. I do have some from Toronto Pen Company that I'll get up on the website eventually as well. So the faceted PM1 light. Yeah, absolutely. This is, I'll show all of them. Oops, that's the nib cam. So this is one. This is probably the first one you'll see. This is the one I showed. It's got quite a bit of kind of white and teal in it as well. Really nice pen. Nice colors. I love the PM. Again, this is the one I kept for myself. Mostly because it had a problem with the section, so I made a new section for it. So the section doesn't match, but that's a faceted cap pen as well. So that's the light, and then there's two more. The last two probably on the page as well that are lights. The last one has quite a bit of purple, and you'll be able to see on the website on that new page. I take 4 pictures of every pen, so I rotate it 30 or 60 degrees or so, 120 degrees, whatever the math works out to, and then also show the section. Oh, I better put those in the right place. Well, if anybody wants to see anything else, let me know. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up and I'll go get some dinner. And some sleep. It looks like I need some sleep, doesn't it? Wow. Mr. Hello Tello, how are you? Oh, you'll like that fine CSI. I have the fine CSI in this pen. Ooh, Instagram friendly. So this is my blue ice, and it's got the extra fine. No, sorry, I got the extra fine Imperial. That's the one I took. I loved broad nibs, but that was for writing. Almost everything I do now is tiny in my journal to-do lists. So I've got the extra fine Imperial. I've got the Turkish needlepoint. Yeah, Michael, I have 2 types of black. Black acrylic and black ebonite. There's probably options of both on my website somewhere. So you want to see which? Oh, the green. Yeah. This green, I'm assuming. And just so you know, the people that have bought multiple pens, I usually refund your shipping and pay the shipping. So if you, Amy, decide to buy a second one, I'll refund both shipping charges. Remember, that old cartoon where you have a little devil on one shoulder and a little angel on the other. Well, I'm the little devil on the one shoulder. So hopefully you've got a little angel somewhere as well. But yeah, Christopher 14 in this green. I'm yeah. It is amazing. Like when you take these out in the sunlight, they're gonna shine just like it is here. Hey, honey, how are ya? Honey is a frequent watcher of Scott McKay's airbrush videos, which I watch all the time as well. If you like art, you should go watch his channel. He does some amazing things. So that's the green acrylic. I've been making a lot more acrylics lately. I love the shine, the depth. Jonathan Brooks is brilliant, absolutely brilliant, because he found a way to get depth out of the material that you don't normally see it in, and the acrylics are just amazing, and he's been able to do it as well. So, people, I hear people say, "Oh, PM1, why do you make so many PM1 pens?" And it's, well, they still sell. Every show I went to this year, most of my first sales were PM light or PM regular PM, and it's just, I think people are choosy with it now, so they, once they see one in person that they like, it's usually bought up right away. Yes, Janine, sorry, I'm the penabler. I guess that's what they call me. But if anybody wants to see, yeah, honey, it's the pearl essence that you can get in pens are just phenomenal. Just, I think I think somebody bought this one, but this is another one you'd like to see, I'm sure. And I do have another, but there's the pearls in it are just amazing. Okay, you want to see the second purple swirl? So this is the second one. Really, really neat material. I knew as soon as I saw this that I would want to get more. Wait. Let's just see. So blue. Were you thinking, Michael, this blue and white? Or you're thinking you'd like to see a blue and white swirl pen? Because I probably have some in inventory. But that's, you might want to look at Aqua de Bologna if you like blue and white swirl. And that's the Dragon Spit. So it's kind of a yellowish to green with a little mix thrown in. Oh, sorry. Oh, you're on YouTube, so you're seeing it all. It's just the poor people on Instagram that I get out of that Instagram safe zone. When you are all, everybody on YouTube is seeing my lovely wound. That hurt. I dropped something really heavy. Thought for sure it broke my finger, but not so far. So that's this batch of pens. If anybody else wants to see it, I'm so impressed. I'm so happy with this software. It worked beautifully. I'm seeing the comments from Instagram, YouTube. I don't think anybody's watching on Facebook. They were, but it worked. So, that's amazing. I got it all working just in time to go away for a little while. But I am going to record a whole bunch of stuff in the next little while to record while I am away. So, and hopefully, I'm going to have Kirk on. I don't think we're going to do it live. We're going to do it together, and I'm going to have him explain each of his nibs to me, and we're going to do some writing samples and stuff, and then I'll have that information for people who are curious, and then I'll do the exact same thing with Mark Bucket as well. Oh, I just saw another order come in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being the little devil. But it is Christmas time. If you can't treat yourself, who can you treat? Thanks, honey. Yeah, it's making pens is a labor of love. Um, I'd really like to get back to airbrushing at some point because I really like to airbrush some pens. I've talked to Scott about doing one. Stephen Leahy did one that was really cool. Um, I have some done by another painter here in town, but he's moved 3 times, so I need to go and find his new shop and see what they look like. So yeah, if anybody wants to see anything else, let me know. It's Friday night. Oh, great, Amy. Like I said, on Monday when I'm sorting everything out, I'll combine the shipments and I'll refund your shipping charges. Yeah, Janine, I'll actually, you bought multiple pens. I'll be refunding both shipping charges. I will ship them for you for free. Actually, it's National Free Shipping Day. So there you go. Honey, uh, it'll be regular next year, probably once a month because it takes a long time to make 48 pens. So if I could produce that many pens every week and sell that many pens every week, I would do this every week. Uh, but yeah, no, I can make that many, but we can't sand that many in a week. That's probably a full month's worth of work. So yeah, yeah, it's a lot of work. But again, it's something we love to do. The sixth one from the left. Okay. How about from top to bottom? That would help me. Well, thank you, Amy. It's fantastic. I appreciate it. And again, people getting my pens and then using my pens is what makes me happy. The money just means I can keep doing it. Like that's why I sell them. I love to hear stories of people that use the pens. That's my that what makes me feel the best when somebody came up to me at the DC Pen Show and he had my pen in his little pen sleeve, and he said he uses it every day. Number 6 then. Oh, okay, that's the white. So this is the blue with the flecks, and they're kind of silvery. It looks a bit like a star galaxy. It's a really neat material. These the flecks can be a it can be a blessing or a curse. If they're too big, then you get little pits in the surface. But these are nice and fine, and this one turned out quite nice. Again, it's fairly translucent. So, when you hold it up to the light, yeah, you can kind of, yeah, you'll be able to see the nib inside the cap, but not likely see the ink inside the barrel. So hopefully that's the one you wanted to see, Michael. I forget that you probably can see it and read it because you've got it huge, where mine's just a part of the screen, so I'm not... I need 3 different types of glasses now. One for screen, one for reading, and then one for reading fine stuff on the screen. Janine, no. California, no. I have the incredible luck this year of going away for the winter. We're doing the kind of a trip of a lifetime and going away for January, February, and March. So that'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, then my next show will be the DC Pen Show, and then the San Francisco Pen Show, and then the Toronto Pen Show. And then maybe, if it works out, we'll be going to the Singapore Pen Show, which will be just part of a tour because we've always wanted to see places like Singapore, Thailand, Laos, and Vietnam. We'll do that whole sort of circle. So, Michael, if you're looking, just give me 1 second. You're not going to be able to hear me. Thanks, Amy. I'm going to find a black pen to show you. Now, Michael, this is black ebonite, which goes a little brown. It probably looks a little brown in this light. So this is a Nona with actually glass work in the end by John Tello. So it's a very cool pen, but this material is probably what you want to paint on. It's very popular to paint on or do urushi work on. Thanks, Janine. We'll see you in San Francisco. So this is the black ebonite, and takes paint really well. Again, we surface it with 4050, which gives it the adhesion promoter, then all the paint sticks, and then clear coat over the top. And then, again, these have the John Tello glass work in the end. I actually have another John Tello pen on the way. I bought one of his Piccolos. Bought myself a Christmas present. And it's great to support other makers. So yeah, that's the black ebonite. That goes a little brown. Can be brown just on the edges, but if you paint it, you'll never see that. Plain water. I ordered some. Uh, the only thing I could get that would come quick was actually what was it? I ordered it off of Amazon, and it was two different greens. No, one green. Just one sec. Oh, it was a Pelican. Yeah, Pelican ink, which was I can get it quickly, and then next week I'm going to be at the local store in Cambridge, and I'm going to get the moss green because they have that in stock. The diamine inks I can't find anywhere that I'll get before I leave. So, but I also every place we go, there's always a Mont Blanc store, and they have a nice green that was actually my dad's favorite color. So I may pop into a Mont Blanc store when I'm away and grab some green cartridges as well. So hopefully, Michael, that answered your question. I also had some sand colored ebonite that I did for somebody because they wanted a lighter base to paint on top of. But once you put down that first coat, then it becomes whatever you want. Actually, this is a good experiment. Let me see. And I can do this. Ah, it's Instagram won't be able to see it very well. But that's the Stephen Leahy galaxy with a planet underneath pen that he painted for me. Hopefully you can see that a little bit on Instagram, but probably not. Oh, you can see my Instagram. All right. Okay. Hopefully I got everything. Yeah, Michael, and just DM me too if you've got any questions. If you're just looking for something to paint, I can I can get you something cheaper because it's not already sanded, polished, and buffed high gloss, which is most of the work. I have some black ebonite pens ready for paint. You know, sanded to 400, 600. You pretty much just got to wipe them down and go to it. So DM me on Instagram, and we can work something out. Good. What time? Maybe I'll pop in. I've got. Oh no, I've got breakfast meeting with the pen club, so that'll be my priority. But what time are you doing yours? Alrighty, folks. I'm gonna sign off. Michael, just DM me next week, and we'll we'll take care. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for shopping. Thanks for tuning in. And if you ever have any questions, you want to see a video of any pen, just DM me on Instagram because I can instantly go and pull the pen and give you a video. So, well, I'm glad you got to see them. You didn't really need, you don't really need to hear me to see the pens. So, if you have any questions, just feel free to DM me, and we will. Well, we had all these. So I believe if you want to watch or see all these pens again, it'll go live. It'll be in the live feed of YouTube automatically. Instagram, I don't think it will, and Facebook, I have no idea. Again, this is the second time I've used this software, and I can't believe how well it went. So I'm very, very pleased. If there's anything you want to see pink ink, I will definitely show you. I don't have to be anywhere. There's the pink one. Just have a gander at that. I just got to go put this black one back in the right spot. Good night, Janine. Thanks. Happy holidays to you, and we'll get those in the mail on Monday. Or not the mail, in UPS. Sorry. If I didn't put that back right away, I'd forget which spot it went in. Thanks, Michael. There you go. So this is the pink from Poorly Controlled. It's showing up way brighter than it actually is. I believe these are... Oh, I just did them. You'd think I could remember. 320? 3... Yep, 320. It's not was my Nonas are priced two ways: the regular material and then the higher, more expensive. So they could be anywhere from 320 to 360. Because I got this really for the same price as any of my other PM blanks and stuff. That's why this is 320. The next batch, I think she had to raise her prices because her method is way more complicated than most. So I may have to put these up the next time I buy material from her, but so it's 320. Yeah, 9 facets. So this is the Nona 14, so it's a 9-faceted pen, 9 on the cap and 9 on the body. The silver also looks pretty cool. It has a bit of kind of color shift in it. It's really neat. Shoot. Alrighty. If you want to see anything else pink, let me know. If not, I'm gonna sign off. Yeah, I try. I'm addicted to materials. That's my problem. So I have to make lots of pens because I have lots of different materials to try out. I'm trying to think which one I would consider my favorite here. I don't know, it's so hard to choose. If that brown one's still there on Monday, I might have to pull it out. I think I have one more that's just being sanded, but yeah. There's lots of stuff in the $200 range. All of the 14s in this top row. All of these 14s, they're all like 170, I think. And then the juniors are anywhere from 150 to 180, depending on the material. The swirl acrylic Eisel, which swirl? if you can tell, this one's here. Let me turn those off. Everybody's got that down now. So this is number 1 to 24, 25 to 48. So if you can give me the number, I'll be able to know exactly which one you're talking about. Because I have several swirls. Ah, this one. So yeah, this is a cute pen. If you like white pens, then it just adds a dash of color. So there's green, yellow, blue, and red running through this. Definitely have to adjust the exposure. It's just a bit too dark. So yeah, that's the kind of a neat acrylic. Is there any others? Because I'm about to sign off and go get some dinner. Okay, no more questions. I'm going to sign off now. Thanks for joining me. James, I'm just about to sign off, but here I'll put you can go look at the pens. And here is it's the new page on the website, and password to get in is postal. Tomorrow around noon, I'll probably open it up to the public, so you have between now and tomorrow afternoon to browse, and only the people at the show have the password to the site. So but if you want to see anything, please let me know. I certainly will I can certainly pull it up. All right, thanks everybody. I got to be careful because there's a bit of a delay, so I kind of got to wait a few minutes just to see if there's any other questions. Oh yes, the layered acrylics. I'll bring all 3 on here. So there's the purple. There's the red. There's the blue. Again, they're showing up a bit brighter than I would like. Oh, there. That's better. Son of a gun. That was just fooling my camera. There we go. So the purple and the blue are different colors. So I had this front-facing light, and I think it was just shining in my camera lens and throwing everything off. This is much better now. I can get rid of this. Get rid of this. So yeah, you can see those much better now. They're not really layers, I don't think. It's just, I'm not sure how they did it, but it is, they are good looking pens. I think the blue is my favorite. And Stuffed Twin, is that you, Weechen? You have 3 or 4 different handles, so. If it is you, I know I've seen you've sent me a bunch of questions, and I will answer them later. All right, I am gonna sign off. Thanks, everybody. We can chat offline, and I'll get you whatever you need. I'm going to do some tests early next week to see if I can make faceted cap pens, so I'll let you know. And I do have a few pieces of each of these, so I should be good. Thanks, everybody. Good night.